If Marcus Aurelius had a credit card, he probably would have burned it as a reminder of self-control. This was a man who ruled the most powerful empire on earth and still chose to sleep on the floor, eat simple food, and remind himself every day that everything fades, including wealth. Now drop him into a 21st century shopping mall. Buy now, pay later signs everywhere. Endless ads. Algorithms pushing dopamine non-stop. He'd probably pause and ask the question we've stopped asking. How did freedom get so expensive? We live in a world where financial chaos feels normal. Debt is standard. Discipline feels outdated. And yet, nearly 2,000 years ago, one of the most powerful people in history wrote a private guide for staying calm, rational, and grounded while everything fell apart. He didn't write it for status, attention, or approval. He wrote it to survive. That book became Meditations, and inside it is a financial mindset that's more radical and more useful today than ever. Marcus Aurelius was born in 121 AD into extreme privilege. He had the best teachers, inherited wealth, and eventually absolute power. But instead of becoming corrupt, he became something rare. A philosopher king. Influenced by Stoicism, a philosophy focused on virtue, restraint, and logic, Marcus trained himself to expect hardship, accept loss, and detach from the illusion of control. He lived through plagues, wars, betrayals, and economic decline, yet his writing stayed steady, clear, almost cold. His goal wasn't comfort. It was control of his own mind. At the height of Rome's power, when luxury flooded the empire from every corner of the known world, Marcus chose simplicity. He distrusted praise, warned against indulgence. He believed real wealth wasn't external. It was the ability to stay grounded when everything else went insane. That's why Stoicism is making a comeback today. But there's a problem. We're pulling quotes for Instagram while ignoring the system Marcus was trying to defend himself against. And that system has only become more aggressive. Because today's economy isn't just unstable, it's designed to keep you emotionally and financially off balance. Personal debt is at record highs. Credit card interest rates are brutal. Financial literacy is low. And every digital platform you touch is built to trigger spending, comparison, and distraction. The result? A society that looks wealthy but lives paycheck to paycheck. A generation more anxious, less stable, and easier to manipulate than any before. Privingine. I knows boven. Endum. Toomjine. Endumjine. And a system that doesn't thrive by creating real value, but by monetizing emotional instability. This is where Stoicism stops being philosophy and starts becoming dangerous in a good way. It's not about killing emotion. It's about not letting emotion run your financial life. The Stoics knew they couldn't control plagues, markets, or wars, but they could control their response. Marcus reminded himself that loss was natural, that desire creates suffering, that self-control is the foundation of freedom. These weren't ideas. They were tools, armor, and they still work. Imagine treating money the way Marcus treated power, not chasing status, not panicking during market drops, not upgrading just because you're told to. Understanding that freedom doesn't come from having more, but from needing less. That mindset isn't just personal, it's disruptive. Because modern economies run on debt, consumption, and constant desire. Enough is dangerous. Restraint doesn't sell. And Marcus lived entirely on restraint. He saw luxury as a test, not a reward. He believed comfort weakened people. That entitlement hollowed them out, and that the only real wealth was what couldn't be taken from you. Today we define wealth by externals, cars, houses, numbers on a screen. Marcus would have called that fragile. He'd remind us that real wealth is staying steady when those things disappear. And that ability is rare now. One market drop triggers panic. One rate hike destroys budgets. One scroll convinces people their lives aren't good enough. Unless they buy something. We're not just financially over-leveraged. We're emotionally exposed. For the Stoics, discomfort wasn't a failure. It was training. Marcus practiced voluntary hardship. Simple food, hard beds, deliberate restraint because dependency was the real danger. Dependency on comfort, on praise, on outcomes. Now apply that to money. Instead of reacting to volatility, you prepare for it. Instead of chasing predictions, you build buffers. Instead of trying to out-earn anxiety, you question why you think money will fix it. Instead of measuring success by net worth, you measure it by calm. That's Stoic finance. And it might be the only kind that holds up when things break. Look around. Inflation is back. Governments borrow endlessly. Central banks are trapped print to avoid collapse. Raise rates to fix the damage from printing. Most people have no savings, no protection, just hope that someone in charge knows what they're doing. History says that hope isn't a strategy. Marcus wouldn't wait for a bailout. He wouldn't panic. He wouldn't outsource responsibility. He'd start with what he could control. His mind, his habits, his expectations. That's where your leverage is too. You don't need to be a financial genius to build freedom. You need clarity. What do you actually need? What are you afraid of losing? And why? What are you chasing? And who taught you to want it? Most people never ask. They just play the game. And the system loves them for it. But you're here because you can feel it. The math doesn't work. The definition of success feels off. And maybe the answer isn't another app, another hustle, or another loud guru. Maybe it's quiet discipline. Practice daily. So when markets panic, breathe. When prices rise, simplify. When your feed pushes consumption decline. When fear tells you to react, don't. Because financial freedom isn't about what you earn. It's about what you're not owned by. Marcus Aurelius never had a credit card, but he understood the price of being controlled by desire and the power of mastering it. That's real wealth. That's real freedom. And that's how you survive chaos, ancient or modern. If this gave you a new perspective, hit subscribe. History has the answers. I'll show you where to look.